Hello all and welcome, and I'm the MGTOW philosopher, and in this video I would like to reply to a comment someone sent me that had a link to this article, and it was on my video, Women Are More Violent Than Men, which they absolutely are. And all you need to do is look at this picture to tell you that that is the case. Look at this poor girl. So an Adelaide woman escapes jail after bashing her daughter. Bashing her daughter. Look at this. This is a little girl. Barely over a year old. Look at all those bruises. You can see blood around the eye there. Look at her. She looks like she's been beat up. And even a little kid this age, I mean, it takes some force to do this much damage. I mean, she could have killed this kid. This is unbelievable to me. When I first read this, I was so angry. I was so pissed off. I really had to calm myself down. I mean, this is shocking to me. For anybody out there that thinks that this woman, by the way, is an exception and not the rule, generally speaking, no. Women are more violent than men, always have been. They have no control of their emotions. They're able to do shit like this and get away with it. They have no consequences for their actions. So big surprise, they're more violent. Let's see what this story has to say, shall we? An Adelaide woman has escaped jail despite pleading guilty. She pleaded guilty. She didn't go to trial. She didn't take a plea bargain. She pleaded guilty to aggravated assault of her 8-month-old daughter. Oh my God, so this girl is under a year old. Jesus Christ. What kind of monster do you have to be to beat up an 8-month-old baby? You have to be some kind of psychopath, sicko, scumbag. You got to be the worst human being on earth, quite possibly, to do this. You have to be a complete psycho. Look at that. She's 8 months old. How could you do that? She's so cute. How could you bash her in the face like that? And that's multiple blows. That's not like you just lost it. I mean, you hit this kid multiple times. Father Shane McMahon, whatever, has expressed his outrage at the Southeastern District Court, so this is in Australia, the home of feminism. It's it seems like Sweden and Australia and Canada are like each vying for the top spot. South Australian District Court's decision claiming to 9.com.au, it's a news station, that her actions were fueled by jealousy over his new relationship. Okay, so Lorian Norman, that is the piece of human filth that beat this child up, age 26, called police last October threatening to throw Evie off the balcony of her unit. Holy shit. What? This is insanity. So Evie is the baby, and the mother last year was threatening to throw the baby off a balcony? Oh my God. That's unbelievable. They're dead. They have to be a newborn then. That don't quite add up. Hold on a second here. Last October would be 11 months ago. I thought this baby was only 8 months old. Something's not right here. Okay, well, anyway, let's just assume that this story, I don't know. The time discrepancy is weird. But anyway, when police officers arrived and noticed bruises all over Evie's face, Norman initially lied and told officers the baby had fallen at a play gym. Oh, okay, I see. So this is an old story or something. I don't know. Let's forget about the timeline here. I'm getting confused by it. The pair were taken to hospital where a pediatrician determined that Evie had been physically assaulted in the face and body at least 8 times. 8 times! Holy fucking shit! An 8-month-old baby. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? I see. This happened last October, and the sentencing is occurring now. Why did it take so long, by the way, for this woman to get sentenced? Jesus Christ. And she pled guilty to boot. Jeez, I guess they have a lot of crime going on down there in Australia. That paradise that it is, yeah. This is the same country that wants to ban men from the majority of combat jobs and only wants to accept women. Yeah. They got a real paradise going on down there. Oh, my God. In the DPP's submission, the injuries were caused by reason of a sustained and deliberate assault by the crazy mother upon her daughter, which involved multiple blows, at least one of which was with a slotted spoon to her daughter's face, and that this indicated more than a momentary loss of control? You think? What the fuck? Yeah, I think this is more than a momentary loss of self-control. I think that it took so fucking long to reach a point of sentencing last October, and it's getting, essentially dealt with almost a year later is absurd. It's ridiculous. And where's this kid been since then? With the father, I hope. This is ridiculous. Look at this poor kid. Oh, she's so cute. And she all beat up. Oh, my God. Somebody needs to do that to the mother, okay? She needs to be thrown in an all-female prison with the biggest gorilla in that prison, who's a nasty lesbian who's been abused most of her life by everybody, and then that lesbian will abuse her ass just like she abused her daughter. Let's see if Judge Jack Costello has any brains, or if his brains are in his cock. Oh, look at the father there. He looks like he actually cares. Norman pleaded guilty to the aggravated assaults, which usually carries a maximum jail term of 13 years. Oh, my! 13 years? Well, what do you think she's gonna get? In his sentencing, Judge Jack Costello noted Norman's history of drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, so she makes bad decisions. She's a druggie. She's a drunk. Okay, so she should really get a lot of jail time, right? That doesn't excuse her actions. Whilst any assault, this must be the judge talking, any assault, particularly one of such a tender age and vulnerability by a parent, stands as a gross breach of trust. What do you mean a gross breach of trust? It's abuse. She beat this child almost to death. Your offending is nevertheless far from the worst serious of offending of this type in terms of the degree of force involved and the duration of the what? Wait, that's what is what? It sounds like he just said that it's not the worst he's ever seen. So it's not that bad. What? I'm trying to process this. Well, wait, what? What is he talking about? Wait, what? It sounds like he's minimalizing so that he can rationalize giving her a light sentence. Norman was given a reduced sentence of 1 year and 9 months because of her guilty plea, which Judge Costello then fully suspended after Norman agreeing to pay a $500 bond, guaranteeing her good behavior for 2 years. She essentially paid her way out of prison. Are you kidding me? For $500? She nearly killed her daughter. Look at these pictures. Look at this. 8-month-old child was going to toss her off a balcony. Clearly didn't want the baby. My God. Beat it to a pulp. And she gets nothing? 0 jail time. Really? Really? You see, this is the problem I have with people not getting angry. You motherfuckers out there need to get angry, okay? This is women in this day and age. They feel that they can get away with any and every goddamn thing because there's no consequences for their actions. Look at this poor... Oh, my God, and he's got 2 kids. Jeez, look at this poor girl. And, of course, you can see why this guy got away from her. She's a crazy psychopath who beats up 8-month-old babies, and she gets off scot-free. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Oh, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, so we'll give you a light sentence. What are you talking about? So, what does that mean exactly? It's you can imagine worse, so let's just give you a slap on the wrist? What? What are you talking about? I can imagine worse, too, of anything. Geez, let me think. How about that Jeffrey Dahmer guy? Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer was a pretty crazy motherfucker. He took guys into his house, and then he whacked them on the head, or he drugged them unconscious, and then he killed them, and he fucked the corpses, and then he ate them. But you know what? I could actually imagine worse than that. I can imagine some dude who basically abducts young boys, and then let's say he, let's say he cooks them alive. Let's say cooks them alive, and then he has sex with the cooked corpse, and then he eats the cooked corpse, and he takes a bath in their blood. Holy shit, you know what? I just imagined something worse than Jeffrey Dahmer and what he did. So, since I can imagine worse, since worse things have happened, let's just give you a slap on the wrist because, I can minimalize what you did by saying, well, it's not the most serious type of offense I've ever seen. So I'll just give you no jail time. Are you kidding me? Hey, Judge Costello, what head are you thinking with? The big one or the little one? I think you're thinking with the little one. I think you looked at this woman and you said, I want to have sex with her. And let's see what this, let's continue, shall we? I'll get back to that. Mr. McMahon, who shares 2 children with Norman, you idiot. What'd you get married to this chick for? Oh, just shares. They weren't married. Wise idea, but having babies with her, wrong. Unbelievable. And now has full custody of them both. Said he was stunned by the court's decision. He now has full custody, which he heard about only yesterday through an acquaintance that works at a law firm. Where's justice for Evie? It's absolutely disgraceful. Yeah, it is disgraceful. She nearly killed her daughter. And now, since there's no jail time and suspended jail time, she could go right to the court and say, well, I want custody back. Why do you think she had full custody to begin with? Because she obviously had custody before him. Oh, gee, child support. That's why, because anybody that beats a kid up this badly doesn't want those children. She clearly just has them so she can get the child support. Unbelievable. She has gone and bashed my child and threatened to kill her. It's just gut-wrenching. Look at this. Look at this. Well, now we know why she got the suspended sentence. Isn't she a pretty little thing? Yeah, I look at this second picture. You can see her tits pushing out past her arm. She's got a decent rack. Looks like she got a nice ass. She got blonde hair. She got blue eyes. She's attractive. Well, there you go. That's why she got the suspended sentence. Because the judge, Costello, or should I say clown, essentially gave her this sentence because he looked at her. And like all men, he said, he thought to himself in his head, I want to protect her. I want to protect her, and I don't want to find her as a culpable because, you know, I'm a guy and she's a weak little woman, and I also don't want her to disapprove of me. Like any man confronted with an attractive woman, he sees her and he doesn't want to incur her wrath or his disapproval because deep down in his loins, in his biological makeup, he wants to fuck her. You know, that might have been even better if this chick had gotten a female judge. That might have been the best option. A female judge might have actually given her a fair sentence. You say to yourself, well, female judges are going to, want to side with women. Not always. Not in a case like this. If a woman judge had seen that child, I'd bet you 10 to 1 that she gave this woman jail time, real jail time, and to give her a slap on the wrist like this Judge Costello did, who probably was hoping for a blowjob out in his car in the parking lot after the court case. Who knows, maybe he got one. Pathetic loser. What kind of judge would give this woman a slap on the wrist for $500 that she's going to get back after 2 years? Unbelievable. Ridiculous. Mr. McMahon claims Norman had just found out about a new relationship he was in, and he believes the attack was done with the view of getting back at him. Unbelievable. So this one's so crazy that essentially they're not together. He's ostensibly, I'm going to assume he was paying her child support or something, because she's the woman and she had custody, I'm sure. And then when she found out that he was with some new broad to get back at him, she tried to kill his child. Unbelievable. The attack also occurred on the anniversary of the day of his father's death, Mr. McMahon, the father, from cancer, a time of year his former partner knew he found particularly upsetting, Mr. McMahon said. She knew that I had gotten a new partner, and she knew that it was my dad's anniversary, and she did that to Evie. Well, yeah, okay, she's a psychopath. She wanted to hurt you in the worst way she possibly could. Oh, but she deserves a slap on the wrist, because it's not the worst assault the judge has ever seen. Well, I've seen worse, too. I've watched crime documentaries. I've seen people with their skin peeled off. I've seen heads in cooking pots. So anybody that's done something less severe than that somehow automatically means they should get a lesser sentence? What? That makes no sense. You idiot judge. On the day of the assault, police officers knocked on McMahon's door asking if he knew where Norman was. The crazy bitch, I assume. A few hours later, I had a phone call from major crime scene detectives saying Evie was at hospital with life-threatening injury. Life-threatening! It's not like a bonk on the head or she accidentally dropped the kid or something. I mean, she beat the kid up with a spoon. I rocked up there and she, this guy, okay, he didn't know how to speak English. Whatever, I rocked up there and she, his child, was just beside herself. All she wanted to do was have a bottle. They couldn't console her, and as soon as she got into my arms, she just went quiet. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm sure. She needed her father. She needed her father, which she didn't have because this cunt here didn't want to have a father in the person. Look at his picture. Look at that selfie she's taking of her ass like that sticking out in her tits. And she's on the prowl for a new sucker. Oh, I can't be bothered with having a kid. I hate this kid. I resent this kid. I'm going to beat this kid up with a spoon. McMahon said he planned to fight the decision that she had been, that she'd been given a slap on the wrist and was meeting with his lawyer next week to see what could be done to appeal it. How do they expect me to hand her over? What? You have to give your child, or what is she getting? See, I'm going to have to do more research on this story, but he has full custody now, but since she's been let off the hook with just a suspended sentence and some kind of probation bullshit. Good conduct, that she has to have good conduct for 2 years. Then she has rights to see the kid. Then she has rights to see the kid. That's the mother. As she can petition the court, he'll have to. Does she get visitation? It sounds like he's saying she'll get visitation because he's saying, how do they expect me to hand my child over to her? I wouldn't give that bitch that child, no matter what visitation she got, and I would be going to court every motherfucking day. How do you expect me to put her back in the arms of that person? Yeah, this psychopath scumbag who beats up 8-month-old kids. And don't look at her. Cover her face up. Forget the fact that she's attractive. Forget the fact that she's a good-looking broad, okay? I don't deny her that because who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter what you're born with. I don't give a fuck if you're good-looking, you're a fucking psychopath. Jesus Christ. She's attractive, so she can get away with anything. This is the problem in today's day and age. Women get away with anything, everything. All because they're attractive. You got a lot of dumbass man judges who look at the woman and they feel sorry for her and they want to protect her and they want to minimize what she did. So they end up making excuses like, you cut your mother's head off and you cooked it up in a pot and you ate her eyeballs and you cut the top of her skull off and you use it as a spoon for your oatmeal for a month. But I've seen worse than that, so I'm just going to give you a slap on the wrist and a suspended sentence. What? This is what we've come to in this day and age. This type of minimalization and rationalization, male judges actually inventing ways to rationalize giving a psychopath like this a suspended sentence. She should be in jail. She shouldn't be walking the streets. And she's going to be walking the streets, and all she had to do is pay $500, which she'll get back in 2 years. So it didn't cost her a goddamn thing, except she can't break the law in the next 2 years. Oh my, what a consequence to suffer. Whew. I'm going to finish this video now before a blood vessel pops in my head. This shit really pisses me off. Women these days get away with murder. Murder! And you wonder why I say you need to learn to be angry at them. You need to learn to viscerally feel hate. If you can't feel disgust for this disgusting creature right here in front of you, just because she has pleasing features, then you got something wrong with you. And you people out there, you need to learn how to feel anger for women because they are culpable for their actions. They have agency. They have license. They have reason. Not as much as a man, but come on. Stop making excuses for women. Oh, it's just their nature and, give me a break. Wake up. Smell the fucking coffee. This chick's a psychopath. And there's a lot of them out there who are allowed to get away with shit because all you guys make excuses for them. It has to stop. I am the MGTOW philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.